Come on, give it up, give it up. Yes, good morning, all souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You just heard this fabulous music by Rick Fortner, Tommy Poole, and Matt Edwards, and our own David Smith. And they will be performing today, yes, along with Cynthia Simmons Taylor is here. So you're in a treat. I'm Assistant Minister Randy Lewis, and I'm joined on the chancel today by our own affiliate minister, Reverend Gerald Davis. And we're so excited to be with you in worship this morning. Now, we're wearing white. Have you noticed that? See, from the African American tradition, every first Sunday, we wear white. And since the brothers are here, we thought we would just take advantage of that. Hey, welcome to our online viewers and everywhere members watching from all over the world. We're so glad that you've joined us today. Now, if you're on Facebook or Zoom, please drop your prayer request into the chat so that in a moment we can light a candle and hold space for you here in the sanctuary. Now, if you are a first-time guest with us today or new to All Souls, we have a gift for you. Now, the ushers are coming forward to bring you the gifts. If you would raise your hands, let them know. They will actually hand it to you. They're coming down the center aisle as we speak. And you're also invited for some light refreshments and a chance to meet with our Welcoming Souls team immediately after the service in the Sonnen Library. And the library is located to the left after you exit the sanctuary doors there. We'd love to get to know you. And for those online, please consider staying for our after-service coffee hour conversations. Now, I invite you to stand as you're able for our invocation and covenant. This is indeed a day that God has made. Let us then rejoice in it and be glad. Let us count our many blessings. Let us be grateful for the capacity to see, feel, hear, and understand. Let us be grateful for the incredible gift of life. Let us be especially grateful for the ties of love that bind us together, giving dignity, meaning, worth, and joy to all our days. Please join me in our covenant that's printed in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Welcome to All Souls, where we love beyond belief. Seat. And as our chalice lighter comes forward, please greet your neighbor. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Our chalice is lit today by long-term member Rod Harwood. Rod currently serves on the care team and on the board of trustees. Rod Harwood.
As Reverend Davis would say, good morning, church. As we light this chalice, we honor the spirit that has shaped our nation. May this light remind us of our history, the struggles and triumphs that define us. In this flame, we see the reflection of our past, the promise of our future, and the strength in our unity.
Our time for all ages today is a poem by Bell Hooks, illustrated by Chris Rashka, called Skin Again. The skin I'm in is just a covering. It cannot tell my story. The skin I'm in is just a covering. If you want to know who I am, you've got to come inside and open your heart way wide. The skin I'm in looks good to me. It will let you know one small way to trace my identity. But then again, the skin I'm in will always just be a covering. It cannot tell my story. If you want to know who I am, you have got to come inside. Be with me inside the me of me. All made up of stories, past, present, and future. Some true to life and others all fun and fantasy, the way I imagine me. You can find all about me coming close and letting go of who you might think I am. Before you come inside and let me be real and let you become real to me, all real then in that place where skin again is one small way to see me, but not real enough to be all, the me of me or the you of you. For we are all inside, made of real history, real dreams, and the stuff of all we hope for when we can be all real together on the inside. I invite our children and youth to come to Sunday school so that we might take some time to learn about each other and ourselves so that we can be real together on the inside.
Yes. In this moment, as we navigate life's transitions together, embracing both joy and sorrow, we recognize our imperfections and the ever-evolving relationships, human relationships. Today, let us honor the bonds that connect us, the shared experiences that shape us, and the enduring spirit that unites us. Today, we light a candle for our own Rick Fortner on the loss of his father, Rick Fortner Sr., who passed away June 29th. We light a candle for Kayla Calvert and family on the loss of her grandmother, Mary Carver, who passed away on June 29th as well. And we light a candle for Janet Allen on her continued health challenges. And for Katerina, Robert, and Jude Norman on the many challenges they face as a family. I invite you now to name aloud someone you wish to be included in this sacred moment. I light a final candle for all the names spoken and those unspoken, but yet remain in our hearts. And if you've lost a loved one in the past year, or if this Sunday is the closest to the anniversary of that loved one's death, I invite you now to stand in memory for a brief moment of silence before the prayer. You may be seated. Spirit of life and love, we come together today mindful of our shared journey and the history that has brought us to this present moment. We acknowledge the diverse paths that have converged here, each one adding its own unique contribution, its own unique story. Help us to recognize the struggles and triumphs of those who came before us. May their stories inspire us to build a more inclusive and compassionate world. Oh, Spirit of peace, if we've ever needed you before, we need you now. Dwell within us. Help us as we navigate the complexities of past and present. In this moment, we ask, oh, Spirit of life, we ask for open hearts and minds. Help us to listen deeply, to appreciate the richness of our different perspectives. Help us to find that common ground. For together, we create a future where unity is celebrated and the bonds of community are strengthened. And as we stand together, help us, teach us, make us ready to write the next chapter of our collective journey. May it be filled with compassion, integrity, and hope. And these and all the blessings we ask in the name of love, in the name of peace. Amen. Ashe, and blessed be.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Let's sing it together. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, when I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, when I breathe, oh, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. I tell you, this land was made for you and me. As I went walking down that ribbon of a highway, I saw above me, oh, that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley, and I said, this land was made for you and me. As I was walking, no one dared to stop me. They put a sign out. It said private property.
Tell the story. Come on. That's right. That's right.
Well, on the backside, you know it said nothing. And I said, this side was made for you
Say it, tell it.
and me.
Yes.
One bright sunny morning,
Say it. Come on.
well, in the shadow of a steeple, down by the way I fell, I saw my people. You know my dead, hungry, homeless.
Mississippi.
Houston, Texas, and LA. I'm telling you, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters.
Here we go.
I tell you, this land was made for you and me.
Wait, Tommy.
Come on. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Oh. Good morning, church. Yeah, this land is my land. All right now. I'm so glad to be with you this morning. It's hard to sit still in a chair when the music is moving like it is. Want to get up and dance a little bit, but I'm all right. I have something to say this morning, and I hope you listen. You know, this is summertime. We got hurricanes and tornadoes and heat waves. Marlon's gone. That means Reverend Gerald's in the pulpit. Yeah. I look forward for these moments with you. And it seems that summertime fits because it's hot. And things are hot. But I got something to talk to you about this morning. Because we hear a lot on our airwaves about the American story, as if it's only one. And I wanted to speak to you this morning that that's not true. It's important for us to be who we are. And we're not the same, and we're so happy we're not. We're not the same, but we are beating hearts. And those beating hearts signify L-O-V-E. That's why we're here, church. So I want to speak this morning about the American story. But first, let me tell you a little bit about my story. Oh, I was about 12 years old, 62 years ago. And I was a speller, church. I spelled a lot because I read a lot. And when you read words, you remember how they spell, you know? So I was in the place that we call Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Some of us call it Sapaloo, yeah. And I was growing up in that year of 1963. And in those days, church, there was this thing called segregation. And segregation meant that we did not see other folk other than the ones we see every day. And those ones we see every day, where I live, were all black. So I went to an all-black school. And in my 7th grade year, I was the spelling bee champion of my school. Yeah. So that meant that I went to the Creek County Spelling Bee Championship, representing my school, and all the other little children all over Creek County, they all came as well. So in this Spelling Bee Championship, people started sitting down because they missed certain words. And finally, it was only two people, a little girl and me. And the little girl missed her word. I spelled that word that she missed. Then they gave me another word, and I spelled that. And they said, well, I'll be damned. This little won this championship. So I took the award, and pictures were taken and all of that. I was in the front page of the Sapulpa Daily Herald. And they said, well, that means he's going to represent Creek County and the whole state spelling bee in Tulsa. So yes, that's true. So that time came around, and my teacher, Lillian J. Elliott, and my sister, Patricia, and I drove and rode to Tulsa to participate in the Spelling Bee Championship that will represent the state of Oklahoma. Well, I wish I could tell you I won that too, but I didn't. But afterwards, all the Spelling Bee champions were all given a free ticket to go see a movie, Dr. No. You remember Dr. No? That was the first Sean Connery, James Bond movie. And so it was somewhere downtown in Tulsa. So my teacher, Mrs. Elliott, and my sister and I stood in line to get our tickets and then go in to see the movie. And we got to the ticket holder, and the ticket holder said, you can't go in. And my teacher, Mrs. Elliott, said to me and my sister, you all go stand over there. And then my teacher lit into this ticket tape. I mean, my teacher, Mrs. Elliott, was the most refined, genteel woman you would ever know. But she tore that lady up. She went up and down, and we were standing there watching. And then finally the ticket taker left to go get the manager. And the manager came out, and she began to light into him, and he said, okay. The kids can go, but you can't. And she said, no problem. Just make sure he's a champion, and he needs to be rewarded like those other champions. And so he said, all right, get out of here. So we went in and saw the movie, Dr. No. And I was excited because it was a good movie. I still like Dr. No, Sean Connery. And we came out and got in the car with Mrs. Elliott, and Mrs. Elliott was getting ready to drive to Sapulpa, and she turned to me, and she said, Gerald, never let anyone determine your worth. I was 12 years old. Yeah, that stayed with me. That stayed with me. Don't let anyone determine your worth. And of course, I began to be the little big mouth that you know now. Because I said, okay, no one's going to determine my worth. I'm going to tell you what I think about you. So I did, and I moved on, and life has been good for me. But those words stuck with me, and I remember that well. Well, June 26th, not too long ago, I celebrated my 74th birthday. I'm 74, and I can go. That's right. And I decided, as I was listening to my favorite radio station, KWGS, Public Radio Tulsa, that they were having a spelling bee championship. Whoa, on my birthday. Whoa. And it was at Fulton Street Books on Greenwood. And I said, I gotta go. So I entered it, and my daughter, Olivia, was home from her graduate work in Howard University in Washington, D.C. She said, Daddy, I'm gonna go in too. So my daughter and I entered the Spelling Bee Championship, and we went out to Fulton Street on my birthday, and all these people were there. I didn't think it'd be a whole lot of people. A whole bunch of folk were there. Were any of you all there? Well, you should have been. Well, we went through the spelling bee championship. We went through the whole thing, and I was pretty confident. And it was a bunch of people. My number was 24, so it was in the 20s, the number of people who were in this spelling bee. Well, church, let me move on and tell you, it went fast. A lot of people sat down, and so we did the first round, second round, third round. I don't need to tell you that every time they gave me a word, I said the word, spelled the word, said the word again, and sat down because I knew I had spelled it. And I did. I was spelling, church. I'm telling you. All right, here we go. We're in the last round. The final round is only 4 people left. 4, 3, 2, 1. So now the 4 of us were ready to get down and dirty. But then, church, I'm going to preach a little bit because when we're in this situation in life, when things are going to you and you're wondering, should I or should I not? The should I not part is called the temptation of doubt. It's a temptation because it's like, oh, I'm just me. I can't. Oh, that can't be. Well, that was not part of me, church, but suddenly I began to feel that feeling like, I don't know these words that these other people are spelling. These are new words for me. I mean, they were digging deep into the dictionary, right? I'm saying, I don't know this. And that doubt, that temptation of doubt was on my shoulder saying, you don't know these words. And I said, oh no, now it's coming to me. Here it comes. I know it's going to be a word I don't know. And the word that they had for Reverend Gerald was the word bourgeois.
Talk about it. All right. Bourgeois.
Now, church, let me tell you something. We used to call people who were bourgeois bougies. Bougie, but church, I studied French in Belgium for 1 year. Spoke French, taught a class in French in Zaire. I know this word bourgeois. But I sat up there because temptation of doubt said, you don't know this word. You don't know this word, And so I said Bougeios. And everybody went, oh, you left out the R. It's Bourgeios. Even the person who had the microphone said, you missed it by 1 letter. And I said to myself, of course I did, but why did I do that? Why did I lose focus? And church, that's what I want to preach about this morning. Losing focus. When we begin to think we can't. Church, it's important for us to know that spelling bee that I had tapped me on the shoulder because I needed to look around and say, look what's going on. We have a state superintendent of schools who is telling us that we need to nail up the 10 commandments in every classroom. We need to put pastoral counselors in every school so that they would understand that this is a Christian nation. And we need to exemplify that. Last week, a couple of weeks ago, when we had the Chautauqua people here, and we had Coretta Scott King, and we had Rosa Parks. Well, the actor who played Rosa Parks is my assistant at Church of the Restoration, Vanessa Adams Harris. Excuse me. Vanessa Adams Harris was invited to present a paper in England and Liverpool, where the Desmond Tutu Foundation is located. Liverpool, that's where the ships that sailed to the continent and got enslaved people, took them to the Americas, and then back to Liverpool, get the ship service. They dropped off the cotton that was picked in Liverpool, and then down to Africa again. Liverpool was a really important part of this Middle Passage. And so they have the Desmond Tutu Foundation there. And because Vanessa Adams Harris works with the John Hope Franklin Reconciliation Center, they invited her to present a paper. And she did. She presented that paper on reconciliation. But before she could present it, the people in England said, "What about this state superintendent, Ryan Walters?" In England, they know about us. And they're saying, what is he doing? And Miss Vanessa let them know that he's learning, and he's not fully formed yet, and she did that. But I mean, this is what has happened to us. We are known throughout the world for thinking there is the American story. And that American story is incorrect in the first place. This was never a Christian nation. Please understand. Please understand. Don't let anyone tell you that it was. It was not. People fled Europe looking for religious freedom so they could be who they are. They could believe in what they believe. And many of them were Unitarian Universalists. Many of them. And because we are holding on to that tradition of being who you are, because you are not born of sin, you were born a blessing. And if you get really into it, the Hebrew word for sin is missing the mark. That's what it means, sin and missing the mark. It's not like, oh no, I'm doomed forever. No, it means that you made a mistake, whatever that is. But you can correct it. You can repair. And that's where we are, at least those of us who believe this way, that's where we are. We can repair. Don't let anything say that's the end of everything. I'm done. No, it's not. We have opportunities to be better than we were. And we can repair what we made mistakes on. Did I say repair? Does that sound like reparations? That's what it is. That's what it is. And I'm here to tell you today, you don't let that temptation of doubt get in your way, saying, oh, we can't do that. There's no way in the world we can repair what it. No. That doubt is not the truth. It is what we have said in order for us not to do what we know we need to do. And that's called be courageous. Be courageous. It's important to be courageous if we have a spirit of life and love. We have to defend that because there are structures of evil. Hear me now, Ryan. There are structures of evil that are set up to prevent. But the structures of evil cannot overcome the love that we have, the justice that we have, the peace that we're seeking. No, those structures of evils fall. Yes, they fall. They fall because we're there. We will not turn around. We will not sit down. We will continue to say it's not the American story. It's our American story, their American story. It's going to be different. Some folks have come to this place because that Statue of Liberty said, bring me your tire. Well, that's not really what the Statue of Liberty was when the person who created it, that poem was not there. What they were doing, now this is history. Don't let anyone tell you it's not. Reverend Gerald's telling you the truth. The sculptor, the French sculptor that made the Statue of Liberty did that because America stopped enslaving their people. And the statue, originally there were shackles on the hands, but that was too clear. So instead of that, if you look at the feet of the Statue of Liberty, the shackles are there. It's about slavery. Did you know that? The Statue of Liberty was given to this country because of slavery was abolished. That's why we have it. And all that, give us your tire, your poor, seeking to be. Yeah, okay, that's a beautiful poem, but that's not why the sculptor did it. All right, so I'm telling you, Reverend Gerald doesn't lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you. I'm telling you that we need to take the American story into our American story because it's different to everybody. People are coming to this country seeking the freedom that we purport to have. And that freedom says we don't need any 10 commandments in the classroom. We don't. I'm telling you, and the child will look at that and say, have no other God other than this God, or something like that. And they go like, well, are there other gods? Yes, there are different religions. And people have different, and then that means that's a whole thing. Well, why is ours better than theirs? Well, it's not. And so we don't want to confuse anybody. Take the commandments down. We know that. We know that. I don't need the 10 commandments to honor my father and my mother. I don't need the 10 commandments to tell me that. I do. You know, I want us to understand, don't believe the hype. And unfortunately, Reverend Gerald listens sometimes to these radio stations out there. And I listen to them to find out where they're going. And church, they're wackos. I mean, that's the only way to tell you. Those folks are out there saying, and they're fomenting hate. They call us, the ones who are open arms, they call us hard people that will hurt this country. How is opening our arms to say, come on in this place and be as successful as you can, how is that going to hurt this country? And don't believe the hype about they're bringing over drugs and they're taking our children and making them into sex slaves. No, that's not true. And we cannot allow that to stand. So yes, I'm saying to you, before you walk out of this church, hear these words. We love you. And because we love you, we're not going to let you turn around and say, I therefore will be quiet. No, my love is magnanimous. I'm opening myself to you, and that's what we do. This church, and I'm going to quit in a minute, hold on. This church has a vision statement, and we forgot that, but we do. It's difficult, church, to open our arms to everyone because we're different, but we do it anyway. We say, come on in here. Those of you who say, this is not the right place, yes, it is. We started, Hannah Middlebrook started a accessibility committee. I love it, accessibility committee, because some folks have different abilities. And if you live long enough, you're going to be disabled. It just happens that way. We're not supposed to be fit, even though I am fit. But I'm on the other side now. I'm 74, moving towards 75. I mean, the point is we're supposed to slow down. But the accessibility committee says it doesn't matter if you're blind, that you hear differently, that all kinds of things that say, I need accommodation. This church says we're doing it. We're going to make it so that anyone who comes in this church can feel comfortable. Our vision statement says that we are saying, come on in here, whether you believe or don't believe. It doesn't matter. What this is, love is the spirit of this church, and service is His law. See, this is the key. The key is we don't just say it, we do it. We do it. So yes, being a Unitarian Universalist in Tulsa, Oklahoma, says to me, our American story is alive and it won't quit loving. Yeah. Amen?
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around. Turn me around, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking,
marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me around. Let me hear you. Turn me around. Turn me around. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let persecution turn me around. Turn me around. Yeah. Turn me around. Ain't gonna let persecution turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let nobody, yeah, yeah, ain't gonna let nobody. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
Yes, nobody turning me around. That's right. Thank you, Reverend Gerald. Wow, for that spirited message. Just give him another hand, please. I felt that one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, it is the tradition of our church to give away our offering to organizations in our community that's doing the work of love and justice, doing the work that Gerald talked about, telling the truth, too. But today's offering is going to the League of Women Voters of Metropolitan Tulsa. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization that encourages informed and active participation in government, works to increase understanding of major public policy issues, and influences public policy through education and advocacy. So if you're giving today and you're paying by check, make sure you mark your check on the offering on your check to make sure that it goes to that worthy cause. Now, if you're making a pledge to the church, make sure you put in the memo church. That helps to keep our finance team, they really appreciate you actually putting it on there to keep things straight. But before I receive this morning's offering, I do have a few announcements. So if you're ready to join as a member of All Souls, you're invited to 1245. I will be there in the joining class and let you know about how to join this thriving community. Also, if we can't do religious exploration programming without volunteers, so the RE department is looking for church members who are ready to take the next step and join one of the three committees that's for the adult, the children's, and the youth religious education programming. So if you are interested in volunteering with any of these groups, please contact Shannon Boston. Now, for all new members, we want to make sure that you know that you can schedule a child dedication almost on any Sunday. Now, this is a very special ritual for children 13 and under. So please reach out to the front office or to our life events coordinator, Casey Shelby, for additional information. Today, after this service, the conversation continues. Join us for Let's Chat. This is in the Alliance Room for a lively discussion about Gerald's message and the overall service today. And for more upcoming programming and volunteer opportunities, please check your order of service. Let's now receive this morning's offering for the League of Women Voters. Thank you. Hold on, let me finish. Before Gerald says his benediction, remember, if you're a first-time guest with us today, we invite you to the Sonnen Library, to our Welcoming Souls member. We'd like to greet you and to let you know about what's going on in this community. There's some light refreshments for you and another gift for you as well. You're also invited to, excuse me, our fellowship hall or to our garden outdoors for reflection. Now, if you're online, please stay for our after-service conversations immediately after the service. And I want to thank Cynthia Simmons-Taylor, Tommy Poole, and also, and the band, Matt Edwards, David Smith. But I also want to welcome back our own Rick Fortner, who's been away for a number of weeks. Now I'm going down to extinguish the flame while Reverend Gerald gives a benediction.
All right, you down there?
Yep.
And now, may the melody of our worship, the harmony of our coming together, and the rhythm of our goodbyes make music our living, that we may go from this place, live full lives with melody, with harmony, and with rhythm, only to return to sing our songs and tell our stories. And the church was heard to say,
Amen.
All right.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. I tell you, this land was made for you and me. As I went walking down that ribbon of a highway, I saw above me, oh, that endless skyway. Now I saw below me that golden valley, and I said, this land was made for you and me.
Take it, Tommy. Take it, Tommy.
Yeah.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California